Okay, sun live. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, so it's here. Pull up my chat monitor. Okay. All messages, please. All right. Hello. And welcome to, probably not the second to last, but somewhere a ball guy just sprinted off. Anyways, let me get my chair position. More or less where it needs to be. Anyways. Hold this a little closer. That should be good enough. Yeah, this should be, it's not gonna be the second to last stream, I don't think, unless I do wrap up everything of the climax next stream, but this is towards the end, so we'll see how much more we've got. We've been summoned by Vinny. We're gonna have the last set of 3 rogue megas to fight. Oh, coconuts. Wait, I gotta take a screenshot of this. That's funny, and I chose a satisfactory color. I'm sorry, I just made a palm tree sprite for a fake one game. Actually, I could switch to it here on Rando. Here, bear with me for a second. Tile set. Oh yeah, that's nice and big because it's at double scale. So this is like 96 by 96 technically, but it's actually a 48 by 48 sprite. So this is like a Gen 3 style palm tree sprite that I like just did. Spent a long time on it. Pretty happy with how it turned out, especially like the way the fronds are shaped and have like distinct layers that kind of suggest the different individual blades of the leaves coming off. It has that like larger, rounder base, and then like the thinner trunk. We didn't go for like a curve to it, just for maximum usability and kind of aligning with the other styles. They shouldn't be. I'm seeing them right now. I see this one at least. But yeah, so like the overall frond structure I was very happy with, but the coconut was a point of contention because there was no reference point for how a coconut on the tree looks in a Pokemon game, and here they are, 3 per tree. And I chose the right color to do it because I didn't want to make it a berry color, which was the argument that my co-lead on the project, Mike, was making. I was like, oh, do it like a berry because the berry trees in Alola, and I'm like, but those are like random ones. So I kind of went for this like pale green, unripe coconut look, which does kind of give that Exeggutor vibe, especially the Alolan Exeggutor vibe. You know, obviously with like the tall trunk. So that's what I settled on. I'm pretty happy with that. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. Alright, anyways, I'm going to switch Rando back to the sprite that it was. Bear with me as I switch him back. Sprites! And then this is Lust Buddy here. So this was a joke that I made, this sprite here. This is a joke. It's a poison flying type that has an alternate form that won't be on today's stream, but will be on the next stream. And that was a joke that I pawned off as a fake leak for a while as I was sketching and describing it. as like the legendary of Pokemon wins. And its name is Diapurse. Diapurse is kind of it's obvious, it's awful, but that was the joke. That sure was the joke. I know that when they made Sonic for Super Mario Mon, he was a secret battle within the game. They went with I think electric fighting for Sonic. So I would say electric, especially because like a lot of speedsters get that like electric effect to them. So I feel like that's probably the most fitting. Yeah, like I don't know. That's what strikes me the closest. Bro, it's just Sonic. You're both here? Good. Sorry for the urgent summons. What's going on? What do you need both me and DB for? I'm afraid I do not have any answers. I was merely tasked with reaching out to you. President Jet is waiting inside. She will be the one to explain. He is free like the wind. I feel like, personally, to me, if I was to think of, like, a type for Sonic, I think Sonic himself, I think he's neutral. I don't think he has a type. Like, I think in most systems that apply, like, a type or an element or something, they always have that, like, neutral one. I feel like Sonic's that, because, like, he's fast, but he's not, like, doing anything significant other than being fast unless he's Super Sonic. I feel like that's when he takes on some sort of elemental thing, like light or something like that. But I feel like Sonic is just, he's just a guy. And I think that's fine. Ma'am, I've brought Team MZ's leader, Urbane, and his teammate, DB, as well. Thank you both for sparing me some of your time. Urbane, DB. The two of you helped me out with a difficult situation the other day, along with that gentleman from the Rust Syndicate. I'm sorry I failed to properly express my appreciation sooner. So it wasn't true, right? What that trainer was saying? You mean his claim that the Pokemon flocking to Lumiose are part of some plot by our company? Of course, that's incorrect. Truly, the extent of our involvement in this entire affair is the use of our holotech barriers. These barriers encircle the wild zones and keep wild Pokemon from damaging their surroundings. Specifically, though, they are intended to prevent wild Pokemon that have undergone rogue Mega Evolution from causing widespread damage. Makes sense. After the incident 5 years ago, Lumiose City was hemorrhaging, people and property values were in freefall. This is why the Urban Redevelopment Plan was established. But it was a risky venture. The mayor could not find businesses willing to take on the project. And so it fell to my company, Quasartico Egg. The initial plan was to create a city that belonged to both people and Pokemon, a place where wild Pokemon could live alongside humans. There were concerns from some uneasy with the idea, even those with no ties to this city. Still, it was a noble undertaking, worth pursuing. But when we began investigating Prism Tower to plan for repairs and improvements, we became aware of something we had not anticipated. The tower was emitting a peculiar energy. That is when we also began detecting that strange power, which we call Mega Power, in all corners of Lumiose City. At the same time, wild Pokemon were flocking to the city in droves, as if drawn to this power. And now, we have rogue Mega Evolution. If this dire phenomenon becomes commonplace, the people will abandon Lumiose once more. I think from a design standpoint, I think Sonic looks really good, but I think, I feel like Mario is in some ways more iconic, but he's never been my favorite of the brothers anyways, so it's like, I feel like from just pure design, it's always going to fall onto Sonic, but I feel like Mario has like an easier time being well handled in games and feeling good in games. So I feel like from that standpoint, like he just kind of takes a bit of a lead. But I consider them, for myself, like mostly equal. Now Luigi, on the other hand, Sonic ain't touching. That's my boy. It's all right. Team MZ will help get all this under control. Thank you for that, young man. Beg pardon, ma'am. It seems I'm being called for. If you would excuse me for just a moment. It is thanks to Vinny that I came to know of AZ, which also led me to your group, Team MZ, and to me asking so much of you children now. As if we wouldn't want to help save the people in Pokemon of Lumios. We're glad to help, right, DB? Yeah, we'll protect everyone. Anyone? Thank you both. I wish to make this city a city where people and Pokemon truly can live together. Help me make that dream a reality. Yeah, we're on it. Which probably means we better get down to work. Thanks for having us. One last question before you go, Urbane. If you don't mind me asking, that jacket of yours, where did you obtain it? Oh, this? It, used to be my mom's. Something to remember her by. I see. Forgive me, I just thought it looked familiar somehow. Hey, if you remember where you might have seen it, let me know, ma'am. I came here to Lumio searching for someone. You might just have the clue I need to find them. Nah, we should get going. Please, one more moment of your time. I've just been briefed about the latest readings. We're detecting concentrations of mega power. I will email you all of the details as usual. Leave it to us. This is what Team MZ's here for. We're gonna make Lumios a city that people and Pokemon can share. Like you were saying, ma'am. Come on, DB. We're heading back to the hotel. Strategy meeting time. Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like PLZA does not have a lot of Spanish, but I feel like most regions don't have a lot of vibes strongly tied to their theming. I think that's really been, like, Galar's the one. And it nailed it. I think I do really like the decks in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon as much as I don't like those games. I think because I like a lot of the new additions from Sun and Moon, and I like Sun and Moon. It's just the Ultras that kind of have rubbed me the wrong way. I really like the overall Alola decks of like new Mons. I think that what Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon does really well is mixing up that encounter table, so you have just like a much more interesting variety of Mons that you can use. So I'm big on that. I'm big on that. Oh, thank you. I prefer Luigi by far. I like Sonic more than I like Tails, and I like Luigi more than I like Sonic. So, like, Tails is fine. I don't know. I've never been huge on Tails. I always like Knuckles more as Sonic's sidekick. I think as far as Sonic's friends go, I think Knuckles is just cool. So that's kind of where I stand on that one. It is crazy coming back to this game after having seen the like Wind and Waves reveal trailer, which that had so much more than I thought there was going to be. Trust me, I'm going to be making a little bit of content just talking about some aspects of Wind and Waves. Don't worry. I'm probably going to make some like shorts just like looking at some of the like shots from the trailer that I really like, and some of the screenshots that they've released, which are also shots from the trailer. They're just at like a higher quality. Than like if I was to like pull it up on YouTube and just use that as my source. But then again, if I'm putting it into like a short, it's not gonna have like the highest quality on its own. I don't know. I might do it that way. Oh, I forgot. I was literally going to grab some stuff at Quasartico. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna fly back. Okay, that wing attack did not hit. I thought it was gonna hit. Quasartico. Gonna hop back over. Because I wanted to get some Mega Stones. Because I have access to a couple now that I didn't have before. Yes, Dragalge is the one that I wanted here. One Dragalgite, please. Nice. Now our Dragalge can Mega Evolve. So now we have 2 Megas on the team. And after this round of, like, Mega, you know, like Rogue Mega battles, then we'll have more. But no, it is crazy. I gotta say, just some things I wanted to, like, talk about just off-rip on how, Winds and Waves looks. Is, like, a lot of people are obviously, like, you know, still, they're like, it's a Pokemon game, I gotta find the flaws in it, and there's a level of which I can understand that, because, like, you know, Pokemon has lagged behind so much. But one thing I do want to note is it's an open world game, and I was impressed when Mario Kart World came out with how its water is rendered in an open world game, like where it has like these waves and you can, like, you know, ramp off them and whatnot, and it feels really good. To like be in the water in that game. And then they had to go and one-up it. I think the water in Pokemon Waves is some of the prettiest water in like any game except for maybe like Sea of Thieves or maybe Subnautica, where, you know, in those games, like, the water is everything, you know. But this game has land that's gotta look good, whereas like Subnautica's land generally doesn't look great in the first game, at least. But no, I was just like, I was genuinely impressed when I saw that. I was like, wow, those waves look great. That game looks great. I was like, immediately, even before I even realized that it was not on Switch 1, I was like, there's no way this comes to Switch 1. And then I saw the confirmation. I was like, yeah. I was like, if you were running this on Switch 1 and you went near that water, you could fry an egg on the back of your Switch, and it's going to be running at 2 frames per second. You'll get a 2-in-1 deal. You'll get a PowerPoint presentation and breakfast. That's what you'll get with Pokemon Winds and Waves if they put it on Switch 1. I did. I saw that was coming. I saw the art from that, and I'm like, that's crazy. I don't know that I like all of the redesigns as much as the original designs, but I do. I think that's really cool to see them like taking a like a new look at the alien designs from Ben 10 and going like, okay, but what if we made them feel more alien? And I think that's really cool. I'm curious in what way Pokemon is the anti-Sonic. Because I find that an interesting claim. I want to get a feel for like the thought process on it. Okay, well that failed. There we go. Get bonked. Okay, no. Okay, actually, no, I get it. That instantly made sense. That Gorgeist was going crazy. Finn, are you being a menace right now? He's trying to sniff you outside. What are you doing? Harassing. Cat drama. Okay, well, I don't have any moves to burn anyone. Uh-oh. Spotted me. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Ouch. I was hoping Bubble Beam would one-shot. It did not. The takedown, like, where he's like, woo. That's great. I mean, so this is a thing. This is a leak, but I think the game was canceled, so I don't feel, you know, too bothered by it, talking about it. They were considering making a gritty, and this was in development for a little while. I think it's what eventually became Unite, like the project that replaced this was Unite, because they wanted a game that would appeal to like some of the older fans. And so the way they thought about approaching it was to make a game that was basically... Uh-oh, I got spotted. It did. Basically Monster Hunter, but with Pokemon. So you would have been like riding on Pokemon and fighting big scary Pokemon. But as far as I know, that project is no longer in any way planned. So I'm not too beat up about talking about it. Like, it might be something they come back to in the future, but as far as I know, it was fully canceled. I would have if they wanted to give it a Switch 2 update that had mouse controls. But without mouse controls, it just, I don't know, I can't play a MOBA on a phone or on a controller. It just doesn't feel good. Do I have any electric moves? No. Cool. Alright, that's what I thought. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay. Well, if we have to just go in, let's just go in. Let's go in prepared. Bye, Lily. But like, I don't know. Like, I think Unite had a lot of promise. It didn't stick with me because of the controls. Like, I just couldn't. Like, I hated how my only option to play well was to take up like a third of my screen with a gigantic wheel that is a like priority wheel rather than like anything. I don't know. It didn't feel good. Like, I wanted to like Unite. I really did. And I do. There's like some elements I like. I love its roster. I think it has a lot of really fun and creative mons included. I think they just also really did not make it feel good to play. But yeah, the Monster Hunter style thing concept, that game was going to be like you're riding on the back of a Pokemon and they've got like scars and it's all edgy looking and you're like fighting against these other mons and basically hand-to-hand combat. Though it's the hand-to-hand combat is being handled by the mon you're riding. But it looked really cool, but they ended up not going for it and switched to Unite because they felt that it was a less risky move or something like that, which, like, fair. Like, because the thing is, like, Monster Hunter is a semi-niche series in the first place. You know, I wouldn't say that Monster Hunter is, like, this huge... Everyone loves it. It has a very dedicated fan base, but, like, games like Monster Hunter kind of... They don't, like, miss out on a huge chunk of possible players, but, like, they do miss out on a chunk. Oh. Let's do this. Nice. Just the beam piercing through it. Okay, Skarmory. God, it feels good to be able to fight Skarmory with something now. I did see that. I do need to still watch. I do have it in my watch. It is in my queue. I just am atrociously bad at keeping up with things. I do watch, I kind of prioritize based on how much time I have at the moment, like what I watch, so. Worry not, it will be watched eventually. Probably soonish. That's my goal. That is my goal. What do I want for this? Okay, we're gonna do that way. Okay, Hibiscus is ready for endgame. Like, looking at the level, the rough levels, Hibiscus is stacked right now. Oh, I don't know that I noticed that Drampa actually has scales in this game. Huh. Or Grandpa. This game, it really likes to pick and choose when a mon gets a texture to its body. Damn. Goodbye. Steelix. All right. Bye. Whew. I don't know them super well. I know like some of the core ones. So let me think. I feel like Electron's a normie response, but I feel like that one. It's involved in all of the like different reactions and stuff. I find that neat. Get blasted. Godflower. Steal away. No! Shatter! How did the psychic one-shot Shatter? Shatter had, like, so much health left. Jeezums. Well, it's fine, because, like, Shatter wasn't gonna mega or anything, so it's like, okay. Unfortunate. But I think Chatter's loss isn't the end of the world. It is the loss of a shiny, but it's like not the end of the world. We'll be okay. Okay, can we please actually hit? I was not expecting to not hit with Steel Wing before they could hit with Psychic. I'm not gonna lie. But Chatter was too busy screaming, so. Okay. Blue boxes. Chatter dead. I mean, I feel like there's worse things. I feel like people make those like magical explanations that feel scientific and all sorts of things. So I feel like that's not like a crazy thing to do. All right, I'm gonna put Aplati in, and Aplati is going to be able to mega, so that's gonna be nice. I'm gonna go mark the death here. So we lost. There. Chatter is dead. Chatter died in 14. Alright, Aplati. Do not disappoint me. You will be given an item temporarily. Yeah, I have Pidgeotite, but I'm not giving that to you till you're fully evolved, so. In the meantime, I guess you'll get a scope lens. Sure. You'll get the scope lens of your fallen predecessor. You are a barista, are you not? Nice. Non-zero chances Avalug's about to do the same thing. Nope, he's dead. Can't do the same thing. Alright, Aplati might just be evolving in this instance. Oh, I should probably switch to have Aplati visible. Yes, coffee time, coffee time. And I can't evolve Aplati. Okay. So, I'll put Aplati's first stage in just to start. Shiny Pidgey on the team. And let's evolve. Now we've got Shiny Pidgeotto on the team. And soon we will have Shiny Pidgeot on the team. Surprised, I was gonna say, I'm like, where's the trainer? There's gotta be a trainer down here. Nice. Instant annihilation. Get bubble beamed. It's gotta be... Oh, get exploded. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to switch for this one. Uh-oh, uh-oh. That was a bad switch. Fire head. Nice. Goodbye, Caesar. I don't know if you can. I think they have to already be there. So like you can trap some, I think, in certain contexts. But you can't really, like, you can't make ones. No. Okay. I was so close to getting that to work. Oh, he got next to Joe too. Okay, well... Joe run. Oh! Hi, Talonflame. Didn't know you were here. Okay, we're gonna power gem you. Goodbye. Ah, you'd be good to power gem too. Let's do it. Your safeguard does not matter against that. Whoop, whoop. Uh-oh. He didn't catch me off guard. Ouch. Swapping. Swapping. Don't want more of that, please. Oh. Okay, it didn't catch me off guard. We're gonna go for Draining Test here. By using it as a plus move. That'll help fill that objective here. I would love some. Get blasted. Hello, Dragonair. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I thought I could outspeed it because I was like, oh, I'm getting to use the plus move one. That might go a little faster. I don't know about that. Uh-oh. I was trying to flee. Your hyper voice means nothing. Ani is invincible. And that is something that makes me quite invincible. So we're swapping. Nice. No! No! I was this close. I was about to get my last poison hit. Dang. It's fine. So we are further behind on levels now for one Mon on the team because we lost one. Were you able to evolve at least? Not even at the point where we can evolve yet. Okay, well, I know I needed to get to the spot near this battle court, which is here, so that I can get this item, which is Brick Break. That's a good move to have. Okay, let's go heal, and then let's go to the... continue the plot. No. I will take that ball that I lost earlier. Oh, I've lost 2 since then. Or since the last time I was here. Well. Thank you, good sir. Wow. Alright, let's go do plot stuff. So, why'd Vinny call you over to Quizartico? I guess the president just wanted to show us, or just wanted us to know they've got our backs and appreciate our work. She said she's counting on our help to take care of the rogue mega evolution problem. Speaking of which, did you both get word from Vinny about the new rogue mega evolution reports? No, we did. Which I suppose means it's time for another strategy meeting. Alright, let's start our strategy meeting, DB. It's time. Here's the new info from Vinny. First, our concern is a Dragonite from Ver Sector 3. Second, in Jean Sector 4, we've got a Tyranitar to check out. And finally, there's a Starmie in Blue Sector 9. All three of those can be difficult to tackle even when they haven't Mega Evolved. Yeah, so they're gonna be extremely tough customers when Rogue Mega Evolution sets in. Do you feel up to this, DB? Of course. Team MZ will be supporting you on the ground as always. But even with our help, these will be serious opponents. We can't let our guard down. Come on! We're all pros at working together now. Yeah, we've come so many rogue Pokemon. We've come so many rogue Pokemon. Team MZ is a well-oiled machine. True enough. Okay, so to recap, we've got 3 more Pokemon at risk of rogue Mega Evolution. We'll stake out each of their locations, then support DB from there. Up first, the Dragonite in Ver Sector 3. That one goes to Urbane. Naveen, you go keep an eye on that Tyranitar in John Sector 4. And I'll stand by to help handle the Starmie in Blue Sectors 9. Oh, I almost said 7. Sector 9. We always seem to leave the heaviest load on your shoulders, DB. Fine. It's great. I haven't had, like, 20 Pokemon die. Thanks, DB. I'm really glad to hear that. And you can count on us to heal up your Pokemon before we get into battle. Alright, team, move out. Time to save more Pokemon from Rogue Mega Evolution. I will say an unfortunate thing I'm not going to be sure on how to handle is with the next generation of Pokemon, you know, like my little like bar at the bottom of my stream, that is going to be tricky to handle, to say the least, because I'm not going to have animated GIFs of all the Mons, especially not immediately. So I'm going to have to use something different. Pokemon Home's not going to be updated yet, so I wouldn't be able to use the home ones. So we're going to have to figure out what to do there. And we won't be able to rely on game dumps to get access to all of those things before launch anyways. So, let alone after. So this is gonna be a tricky one. I think my priority will be to see if I can find somewhere where someone has the animated ones, because I know Lutu's still working on them. I just don't have access to his archive, I don't think, anymore. Like, there's the one I've been utilizing, but it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's, words. I think he's transitioned to using a different platform for. I don't know. I have to check it. I don't know if he's still using the Google Drive he's been doing it in. And I also don't know if he's doing it super actively right now, or if he's more focused on setting up a new home for it that's not Google Drive, because Google Drive kind of sucks for that kind of stuff, which, fair. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say what I'm gonna do, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so first, where's the Dragonite? To figure out my path up there. Aplati. Break those. I see where the Dragonite is. So I figured that part out. Just need to figure out how I get there. Okay, probably from here. So there's got to be a way up somewhere near this building. I found a tunnel. Aha! He's using hypnosis. Damn. Okay, I did just get an awakening recently, so I have plenty of those. Oop. Up we go. This, this. Where is this? Huh. I suppose that's fair. The most overrated piece of media. Okay, this is... I have two takes, and they are both hot. They are hot and steaming takes. So, take one, which I guess really any thought that something is overrated is going to be a hot take, because then that means that, you know, other people have to like it more than you. Goodbye. So, hot take number one. very overrated game to me. And I'm gonna go with the one that's less hot, just because the game's older. Skyrim. There are a ton of people who are obsessed with Skyrim when I was like in like middle and high school and stuff, and I was excited to try it when I got it on the Switch. And then I tried it, and it took me like a lot of tries before it stuck, and it took me playing as like a literal joke character that, you know, his entire reason to be was as a joke. And then I was finally able to beat it. So that's not a great sign for the game, but also just, I don't know, I thought that even when I was playing for the plot, I found the plot to be, like, not that interesting or good. I kind of want to go around and get that. There's a screw over here. But I don't know, I thought that the combat wasn't fun. I thought that honestly, I thought it was more than not fun. I thought the combat was bad in Skyrim. I thought that the story was generally uninteresting and unmotivating. I didn't feel like I wanted to keep seeing what was happening next in the story. I found the side questing to be so-so. Like it existed, but more often than not, I just didn't find any interest in even doing the side quest. So it was mostly, I was wandering around a place that felt cold, empty, and barren. And then I finally got to the end of the game after making a character who the existence of him and the murder hobo-y nature that he had made him fun. And then, and only then, was I finally able to beat Skyrim. That game is okay. I'm happy that I tried it. You know, I like to experiment when I'm like just getting a new console, but Skyrim is the epitome of what bothers me about open world games, where they focus so much on making this big world that they fail to make it interesting, or have an interesting plot, or have good game mechanics. It had none of the above. Skyrim was bad, except for world, which was like, wow, that's a big world. But then I went through that world, and I'm like, this world sucks. And again, I'm like the world was okay. I'm not gonna say it sucks, but it, like, coming from someone who, my first experience with an open world game like that was Xenoblade Chronicles X, the Skyrim one was not good. Breath of the Wilds was better than Skyrim, and I didn't like Breath of the Wilds open world nearly as much as Xenoblade Chronicles X. So it was just like crazy to me. I'm like, what? This is the game everyone's been talking about? And when I brought it up to my brother, he was like, oh, it's because it's really fun with mods. And I'm like, then that's not a good game. And also, like, a lot of the people I knew, they were playing it on Xbox 360. They didn't have mods. So, it's not even that Skyrim, like, needs mods, because people liked it without mods. But I didn't think it was good without the mods, apparently. And then I don't find the mods interesting. Like, fun mods, like funny ones, don't make it better. I'm like, the story is still uninteresting. The world is still mostly empty. It's just not fun to play. I don't get it. And I'm like, even with a mod that made me feel like I had more fun in the combat, I don't think I would want to play, because there's not a lot of combat. It's mostly empty. You're just wandering through cold, empty, barren places. With pretty music. The music is pretty. I like the music in Skyrim a lot. But no, it was a really disappointing game for me. I was just like, man, this is not does not hit. I don't know, it really epitomizes everything that bothers me with open world game design. But that leads me into the second hot take. I think Breath of the Wild is overrated. I don't think it's as overrated as Skyrim, because I think Skyrim is just not a fun or good game. Particularly, I would say Skyrim is maybe a 5 out of 10 at best. Like, it's very mid. Dangerously mediocre. And honestly, the things that makes it the most fun are the things that aren't supposed to happen, the bugs and glitches. And that's a problem. I think a game with bugs and glitches that are funny is fine if the rest of the game is good. But Skyrim did not have a rest of a game that's good. It's like, where did you put any effort? Like, where was the polish put? Where did you buckle down and do more? Because I'm not seeing it anywhere. Every single aspect of this world felt like it was lacking in some way. And that's a huge problem to me. At least with Pokemon, it's like, when Scarlet and Violet came out, it was like, yeah, the game's glitchy and the Pokemon are like super desaturated by just the lighting engine, and the world is desaturated by the lighting engine, and the water looks bad, and everything lags constantly, and the attack animations are worse than they've ever been, because I mean, not worse than they've ever been, worse than they've been other than Legends Arceus. Like, despite all of that, it had a really good plot, and the story was really good and captivating. It had a really fun gameplay loop that was really captivating. Scarlet and Violet were great, except for those drawbacks. But Skyrim, I just could not find something that was great. I could find zero things that I truly was like, man, that was really good. It was a bunch of things that were okay at best, or bad at worst, built on a foundation that was buggy. And I don't get any of the nostalgia anyone has for Skyrim. At all. Like, genuinely. I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, there's going to be people who have that thought about games that I like Scarlet and Violet or whatnot. Sword and Shield. But anyways, Breath of the Wild is my other kind of hot take, overrated piece of media. It's not as bad, I don't think. Like, a lot of people are like, Skyrim's a masterpiece. I would say it's mid. Breath of the Wild, a lot of people say is a masterpiece. I would say it's good. Like, with DLC, I would say it's great. But the biggest problem is that the DLC makes me wish the rest of the game was like that. And that's what Tears of the Kingdom was, and that's why I loved Tears. Tears of the Kingdom was great. It was an awesome game. Solid, like, 8 out of 10 for me. But that's only because it felt like the DLC from Breath of the Wild, but it was the entire game, rather than this small subsection of the game that you had to pay extra money for. Breath of the Wild itself, just, it was okay. It was better than okay. It was good. It was a really charming world. The combat felt really good. The mechanics were really well crafted. It just had no story. Like, all of the plot that was good and interesting happened in the past. All the stuff I cared to know about happened in the past. I was really intrigued by the memories, but I never got to play any of it. I just got to watch little cutscenes about, like, man, this stuff is cool. Check out what happened 100 years ago. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Seeing what happened 100 years ago. Anyways, let me get back to wandering through an empty place and, you know, finding a moose, I guess. I don't know, like... Like, I thought the Divine Beasts had a really creative idea behind them. I just felt that they never scratched an itch that was even scratched by the first dungeon in Ocarina of Time. Like, all of them were that bad. I think genuinely they had a lot of wow factor, but it was just hype moments and aura from watching for the first time as, like, you know, the Varuda, like, trunk turns and then starts spraying water inside of the dungeon you're in. You, like, watch as the trunk is moving. Like, that's cool. That is cool. Don't get me wrong. That was hype. And it was really cool. And I loved that. But then the rest of the dungeon didn't feel good. It wasn't fun. And then that was every dungeon. And then you'd get to the boss, and every boss was a different version of the same boss. Kind of. Like, they were all different pieces of Ganondorf, and it was like, or of Calamity Ganon. And it was like, wow. I guess I know what the final boss looks like. Something kind of like all of these guys. And the answer was, yeah, something kind of like all of these guys. And that was kind of disappointing to me. It was like every boss felt kind of samey aesthetically. They were greatly improved when they were put into Age of Calamity. You know, they actually had like these like auras around them and these different like elemental effects constantly going off and stuff. And I thought that looked really cool. I thought they looked better there than they did in the main game. So yeah, like that was a big one for me. Was just like the bosses didn't feel good, the dungeons didn't feel good. I didn't like most of the shrines, and I know a lot of people were like, "Man, but the shrines in Tears of the Kingdom are worse." And I'm like, eh. And the argument is that a lot of people are like, well, because there's a lot more of the ones where you just walk in, you get a thing, you walk in, you get a thing. I'm like, well, yeah, because the puzzle's outside the shrine. They had those in Breath of the Wild 2, where it's like you do the puzzle outside of the shrine, and that's how you get in, and then once you're in, you just get the prize, because the puzzle was outside of the shrine. But a lot of people just flew to those shrines on a fucking hover bike, and were like, oh, there's no puzzle I had to solve, and it's like, meanwhile, there's a puzzle right outside it, you just flew over it. And I don't think that's a problem of the game, I think that's a problem of you playing it in a boring way. Like, if you play the game by using, like, just the stuff that you're finding around and, like, piecing it together and using some of the stuff that you've got in your inventory to make, like, a fun and interesting contraption, you'll have way more fun with that game than if you just make a hover bike and fly everywhere. And it's like, yes, a hover bike is the easy solution, but you were actively choosing to use the worst option for fun and then complaining because you pushed the buttons that you pushed. And it's like, well, you don't have to push those buttons. And then they're like, well, but everything else is too slow. Everything else takes too much time. And it's like, well, then you're not playing it right. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if your concern is getting things done fast, exclusively, and it makes the game less fun for you, then don't play it fast. Like, why are you choosing to play in a way that you inherently dislike? It's just, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. But Breath of the Wild, jumping back to that, I don't know, it missed on a lot of marks for me. I thought most of the runes were disinteresting or not fun. Stasis was cool. The bomb runes were neat but sucked. And I didn't like the effect they had. It didn't have any punch to it, like a bomb that goes, like, it feels good. Those just going. It was like, it looks kind of neat, but like it doesn't feel like it should have broken those rocks to me. Magnesis was okay, and Ultra Hand was just that, but better. It honestly, Magnesis was disappointing because it felt like it would have more combat utility than it did. I honestly felt like none of the runes had any combat utility other than like you could spam upgraded bombs and do more damage if you're keeping your distance. I don't know, like it just didn't, none of them felt great. Cryonis is the biggest offender on that. I think Cryonis, it's only good for its puzzles, and that's it. I think Cryonis makes the game a worse experience other than to solve its specific puzzles. Again, it's another thing I think Tears of the Kingdom does better. I feel like I used Ascend more than I used any of the runes. I used Ultra Hand all the time. Just like regularly, I would be using that. Recall was so vital to the game. I used Recall so much. But then all the runes in Breath of the Wild, again, were done better in Age of Calamity. That was just like all of the things with Breath of the Wild. It was like it had some interesting musical motifs and stuff, but then they were better in Age of Calamity. It had this plot that was really interesting, but it was in the past, while Age of Calamity is in an alternate universe of the past. So you get to take that interesting plot and play it. Like all of the interesting stuff was done better in the Musou, or like the Musou spinoff of the game. That's a huge problem to me. Like again, Breath of the Wild was good, and it's one of my first recommendations. If someone goes like, "Oh, I've never had a Switch. I'm picking up a Switch. What should I play?" That is what jumps out to me. As I go like, "Oh, play Breath of the Wild." It is a game I would recommend that you play because it is so beloved by people for a reason. I just personally was not moved by it in the slightest. It was neat, but it was not this like transcendent experience in gaming that made me go, wow, games will never be the same. When I played it, I was like, dear God, I know people are going to go, games will never be the same, and they're going to make a bunch of games like this, and it's going to suck. And it did. There are so many games that people were like, they took the lesson from Breath of the Wild, big world. Don't need to worry about good story. Like, they took horrible lessons from Breath of the Wild and then made horrible games. Until Elden Ring. Then Elden Ring came out, and that was the first good game that took inspiration from Breath of the Wild so heavily. And then it became the next one that everyone, games will never be the same. Like, no, we don't need more Elden Rings. That's what Elden Ring's for. Just make a good game. You can take some inspiration behind some of the ideas behind Elden Ring, but I think Elden Ring is just taking inspiration from Breath of the Wild and then mixing it with inspiration from the other FromSoft games like Dark Souls and making this beautiful little love child that everyone loves. Like, that's kind of how I felt with it. I'm like, no, you don't need to make the next Elden Ring. Elden Ring is Elden Ring. You will not make the next Elden Ring. And taking inspiration from it is just taking inspiration from the games that it took inspiration from, because it doesn't do anything all that unique. It's just taking these elements from FromSoft's other games and from Breath of the Wild and other open world games and making them, distilling them into this like really good experience. But not every game needs to be that. And I don't know that you can do FromSoft better than FromSoft can do FromSoft, you know? But anyways, that's enough of that. There you are. So Dragonite is a pretty troublesome Pokemon. It hits hard and it's built tough. Its Mega Evolution was only recently discovered, too. Don't really know what to expect from it. But you look curious. Something on your mind? Your reason for protecting Lumios. Yeah. Guess I feel like I need to protect this city since the person I'm searching for is here somewhere. Right now, that means taking care of Lumios' rogue Mega Evolution problem. Let's go! It's time! Here it goes. Don't do anything reckless. Mega Dragonite! Yeah, so those are my overrated ones. You know, reminder, that does not make them inherently bad games, and I think they're still worth playing and still worth, you know, trying to understand what appeals about them. Skyrim is one that its appeal just is lost on me. But that's just me, you know. Like, it connected with a lot of people. I just did not get to be one of them, unfortunately. I wish I was. That would be awesome. If I got to have the experience everyone else got to have with that game, it would be singing a different tune, I think. Get Hurricane. He's angry. Uh-oh. Oh, he stunned it. Uh-oh. Ow. Hyper beam time. Uh-oh. This is very close. And this will finish. Alright. The Rogue Mega Dragonite is down. Oop. You're on a roll, DB. Sooner or later, we're gonna figure out what's causing all these Pokemon to go rogue. Then, Lumiose will be a place shared by people and Pokemon. Just like the folks at Quizartica want. Thank you. Keep it up. I'm realizing my outfit is currently redder than it needs to be. Now that I've lost my Talonflame. I'll take this one. This will be the fit. Okay, next we've got Tyranitar. And Tyranitar is up over here in Zone Sector 4. Oh. Bro's just hanging out. I feel like this is another one Hibiscus solos. Oh, yeah. And this is another example. Like, Tyranitar has a texture. Why does Tyranitar have a texture? Like, Tyranitar has a normal map. No one else in this game has freaking normal maps, pretty much. Here's our likely soon-to-be Mega Evolved target. Tyranitar, the armor Pokemon. We did research. As you'd expect from the name, it possesses impressive defenses. This may be a long fight, but my Scrafty should do well against Tyranitar in terms of type matchups. And in any case, this Tyranitar needs our help, so we'll simply have to do it. Let's get ready to rumble. Bet you could handle this on your own if you had to, but you can count on Scrafty and me for help. It is time. And then look at all this texture. Rose texture out the wazoo. Blasted. And get blasted. Uh-oh. Okay, let's do it this way. Push gun! Nice. that was a close one. I almost lost my Florges. Tyranitarite. All these wild Pokemon gathering in Lumios. And all this rogue mega evolution. We'll be relieved when we can finally figure out the cause and put all these mysteries to bed. I'll keep looking into it on my end as well. Goodbye, Naveen. Benny. Hey. Ben. Oi! Cease this. Cease this. Oh, come in here. You're in timeout. Get to sit with me now. Oh, and he's gone. He's like, I'm leaving. I don't want this. Come here. Come sit with me. I know, you were being bad. You were having fun. Hello, hello. You're here now. Climb up. Clamber on up. You can sit here. Sit here, be good. No, he wants to leave. He wants to cause chaos. He's off to cause more chaos. All right. Okay, so to get into here, I think there's like a tunnel I have to go through. It's not all the way from like over here and over though. Let's go to PLZA and we'll figure it out from there. Honestly, this is another one that Floor just might solo. Yeah, because I need to get to the center of this cluster of buildings. Yeah, which are sealed on all sides. And the rooftops here are in a wild zone. Guess I could go across the roof over here. That might be the path forward that I must take. Go up this way. Go this way. Go up here. Go up here. Okay. I need to go this way. Aha! Hold on, you lot. You don't want to mess with the Pokemon up ahead. It's shrouded in Mega Power or whatever, and it's ready to blow. So no one's getting by me. Feels like I've seen you two before, though. Wait, it's DB, ain't it? And the other one. Yeah. No one. Oh, trainers as strong as you two ought to be alright. Come on then, follow me. For goodness sake. Which imbecile let two civilians waltz in here when I specifically said to block off the area? Mr. Philippe, hi, what are you doing here? We received word of a Pokemon behaving erratically. We cannot allow any Lumiose resident to be harmed, so we came to evaluate the situation. I thought that, if need be, I could take care of the situation personally. Your intel was spot on. The erratic Pokemon you were warned about is at risk of undergoing rogue mega evolution, and we're here to calm it down. I see. So you're trying to keep Lumio safe, just like us. Problem is, I'm here on direct orders from the boss. He would hardly be pleased if I simply stepped aside for you. I'm sure you understand. Then what are we supposed to do? It's simple. If DB defeats my team, then I will be unable to take on other opponents. I probably have my Pidgeot selected. No, I have Pisca selected right now. Okay. Alright, let's just Mega. Wow. Goodbye. I was gonna say, I think I'm ready to evolve now. Go run. I'm sorry, Philippe. Caesar. Earthquake. And the last one. Scam Racer. Skarmory. Wow. The 3-co on the Skarmory is crazy. That is my Excadrill is a little over leveled, I think. Your true strength lies in drawing out the full strength of your Pokemon, huh? I see you've been honing your skills. Time for us to withdraw, you lot. We can leave things to Team MZ. I can understand why the boss holds you in such high regard. When I first met the boss, I thought nobody could possibly surpass him. Yet now, I find that the world may be bigger than I ever imagined. That's kind of funny coming from you, Philippe. You're older than Corbo and the rest of us. Age matters little when it comes to greatness. In my childhood years, I was already formidable in physical strength and in my talent for battles. As such, I was able to keep the local ruffians. Sorry, doing this voice, like I have to like open my throat, and it's like makes me yawn sometimes. And keep the local ruffians under control and under my command. But I was still nothing but a young fool. I was strong, yes, but that didn't put food on the table. It was only thanks to Lysander's support that I managed to survive those days. That wasn't the case for Mr. Corbo. He negotiated with Lysander, convincing the man to give him seed money for his ventures. Mr. Corbo started up all sorts of businesses, security services, Pokemon couriers. Even some things that perhaps weren't entirely above board. He was quite the little upstart, so me and my gang thought he needed to be taught a lesson. Yet young Mr. Corbo and his partner Venipede gave us the slip at every turn, always one step ahead until we were forced to admit defeat. He outdid us completely and in an area entirely unrelated to Pokemon battles. Ever since then, he has been the only person I call my boss. Maybe I shouldn't have told you all that. In exchange for your silence, please take this. This is a water stone, right? used on that partner of yours, it will surely help you protect Lumios. Now please make sure to handle things here. If this city goes down, the Rust Syndicate will have no clients left to work with after all. If I use the stone Philippe gave me, it'll be Starmie versus Starmie. Think I should do it? Sure, why not? Right. Yeah, okay. I'll evolve my partner. Then we've got to go calm that rogue Mega Starmie. I do need to note in a bit, because I'm about to be able to... It's evolving time. And I'm going to need to note that Aplati has evolved. Shiny Pidgeot! And now we can give the Mega Stone to our Pidgeot. I guess towards the top, actually, yeah. Pidgeot has been registered. I'm gonna go here, because we do have a new dex entry. Pidgeot, the bird Pokemon. It flies over water as it hunts, skimming along the surface to catch Magikarp and other such prey. And Mega Pidgeot. With its muscular strength now greatly increased, it can fly continuously for 2 weeks without resting. I will say, I do like how they did the little lines on them as actual lighting effects. So where they're being lit, and it would bounce back, it does, but where they wouldn't have that bouncing back to you, it does not. They also do that on Pidgey in a couple spots, if I remember correctly. Or is Pidgey going to make me a liar? I think it's on the chest floof. Maybe it's more noticeable here. No? No, maybe I'm the liar. They're making me out to be a fool. Well, look at that. Well, never mind then. I haven't read Starmie. Starmie, the mysterious Pokemon. At the center of its body is a red core that sends mysterious radio signals into the night sky. Apparently I haven't done Ghastly's. Ghastly, the gas Pokemon. It's born from gases. Anyone would faint if engulfed by its gaseous body, which contains poison and gases. Can I say gas again? I didn't read that one. Eevee, the evolution Pokemon. Thanks to its unstable genetic makeup, this special Pokemon conceals many different possible evolutions. I do like the female tail idea they had for it. Skrelp, the mock kelp Pokemon. It's camouflaged as rotten kelp. Camouflaged as rotten kelp, this Pokemon sprays liquid poison to take down prey that approach unawares. Dragalge. Their poison is strong enough to eat... Sorry, the mock kelp Pokemon again. Their poison is strong enough to eat through the hull of a tanker. And they spit it indiscriminately at anything that enters their terrain. Their territory. Mega Dragalge. It spits liquid that causes the regenerative powers of cells to run wild. The liquid is deadly poison to everything other than itself. I love how that's just cancer. It just gives you cancer. That's all it does. Be giving you cancer. It's a bad time. Anyways. Where's my... Trying to figure out where's... here's Uplety. Got up to Pidgeot. Before Starmie's Rogue Mega Evolution sets in, you want me to heal your Pokemon? It's not too much trouble. I thought you were already going to do that. Make sure you and Hibiscus stay safe, okay? I do want to check. It is still water type. Never mind. I thought it gained a fighting type for some reason. I do have Giga Drain though. No matter what, at least I have some benefits here from just having Giga Drain. Get Moon Blasted. Moon Blast. Oh, man. No, scattered out. Try to hydro pump me. Ow. Ah, you turd. Blasted. Good rain. Oh. Rain crit. One blast. Whoa! Dashing again. No, I missed. Woo. Oh, that one was a little trickier. But we have acquired the next Mega Stone that I needed, so that's good. Starmanite. Good work, DB. That's another rogue Pokemon successfully calmed. These battles really take it out of you, huh? I know we've got to help these poor Pokemon and stop their suffering, but jeez, they don't let up with the super fierce attacks. And all that running around, dodging, leaves me absolutely starving. Do you think Lumios's restaurants might have started all this as a plot to bring in customers? Nah, couldn't be. That'd be wild. Looks like we've taken care of all the rogue Pokemon that Vinny reported. Why don't we regroup at the hotel for now? That was Urbane. Guessing he wants us back at Hotel Z to debrief? We've done it. Ah, there it is. Starmanite acquired. We now have 4 megas. Where we started this stream with but 1 mega on the team, we now have 4. Looks like Apathy's carrying the Mega Stone. Let us teleport. That's another wave of Rogue Mega Evolution dealt with. As usual, it was largely thanks to our efforts. Sorry, to your efforts. In fact, you really outdid yourself this time. I'm so glad we've got you on Team MZ. Hey, AZ, can I ask you something? Yes. What is it, my young friend? You keep saying we need to find the strongest Mega Evolution user. But how do we determine that? Like, how do we know which trainer is the actual strongest? That is up to Floette to decide. What do you mean? Or how do you mean? I mean that it will require the greatest of Mega Evolution users to handle Floette's true power. For the moment, let us simply be glad that you all continue to succeed in calming rogue Pokemon. But do we know how Floette would even decide who's the strongest? Maybe it's gotta be a Pokemon trainer that Floette thinks she could rely on. Well, that must be DB. Says who? The next match. Grisham. So it's finally time. You're in arm's reach of rank A now. The very top of the ZA Royale. Just one question. Who the heck is Grisham? Does anyone know? Odd that they made it to rank B, but managed to keep their face secret. Some folks prefer not to show their face in their profile photo. They want to keep their daily lives and their ZA Royale activities separate. Some people sign up using pseudonyms or nicknames, too. That's true, but still. How are you supposed to find them when you have your promotion match? You'll have to wait for them to find you, I guess. And risk things getting worse for Prism Tower? No way. We can't just sit back and wait. Let's ask Emma. Yeah, she's our best bet. Let's head to the Looker Bureau, DB, and try to find out more about this Grisham. Looks like the competition to see who hits rank A first has begun. Who joins the ZA Royale under a false name? There are some strange people out there. The strongest Mega Evolution user. Another role I should have fulfilled and yet failed to. Alright, well, I will say, this is going to be where I end today's stream. I'm going to end it a little early. I mean, it's not that early. Just because I know this next segment's going to take a little while to do. It's going to be more dialogue, so it's probably going to be streaming itself. But this next section, getting to rank A, is going to be its whole. That's going to be its own stream. Because I also have to do one set of battles to get my points, to get my ticket. So, boys, you're Tesla. Wow. But yeah, I have to get like a fill up my set of ticket points and get my ticket, and then I can do that section. But I also have to do a number of things before I can have that match, so it's gonna be a little while. My signal is showing as poopy for a second. Hopefully I didn't lose too much there. But yeah, so that's gonna be all for today's stream. I will be back next Saturday, and we're gonna do the start of the Grisham stuff, and then hopefully finish the Grisham stuff so that we can go straight into, on the next stream, the actual finale of the game. So we're almost there. Yeah, only a little ways longer, we'll be done. And actually, that might be good timing, because I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next, because obviously Winds and Waves is not going to be out until 2027. They've confirmed that. So I've got like a whole while to go on that before I can really do anything there. And I know XD Gale of Darkness is coming to NSO next month. They've confirmed that. I don't know exactly when that's going to be. Part of me is like, do I pick up Fire Red or Leaf Green and play that? And probably not, because I've played it twice now, because I did a normal Nuzlocke, I think, and I did a randomized one. But maybe I just did randomized. I can't remember. Yeah, we'll see. Either way, something's going to be after this. And I got to figure out what that's going to be. If I do XD, it's going to be a non-Nuzlocke run, because I actually have never beaten XD Gale of Darkness at all. I've never beaten it. I have played it. I have gotten rather far. I have never beaten it. So if I do play that, I'm going to just be playing. And you'll be witnessing, not my first time playing, but my first time playing in a long time, like to any serious extent. And probably the first time I finished the game. So that's pretty exciting, honestly, if I do that. Which honestly, I might. That is definitely a top contender, I think, right now. But yeah. So that's going to be all for today's stream. Thank you so much if you joined me live or after the fact. Either way is cool with me as long as you had some fun. That said, I'm going to go do human things as humans do. And you probably should too. So, thank you so much. Goodbye. I'm going to go end the stream now. Goodbye.